Welcome, this is Shakti Nevran. I'm an online astrologer, and if you have been following my weekly forecast or the 1 minute daily updates or the full moon new moon videos, you know that I kind of try to condense astrological information into something very useful and down to earth. And my sun is in Taurus and my Mercury is in Taurus in the 12th house, so I kind of get a lot of information in from other dimensions, and I kind of bring it down into our three-dimensional reality and hopefully help you to navigate the time in front of you in a better way. So my intentions is always, doesn't matter if I do an individual birth chart reading or my forecast, my intentions are always to help you thrive, to become more aware and widen your perspective into a certain area of your own personal life and the more general activations we are looking at in the forecast. And then in order to really take full advantage of the information discussed, you need to know where that's happening in your birth chart. So if you don't have your birth chart, you can go to my website, mauiastrologyreading.com, and sign up for my newsletter, and you get your birth chart. And as an extra gift, I give you your love stone report, which is your most healing gemstone based on your Venus position. So you might know that I do a lot of anchoring of certain perspectives and states with gemstones. So at the end of the video, I will give you always the gemstone you can work the energies with I have discussed. So today I mainly want to discuss the coming up new moon in Taurus, happening around 6.5 degrees, and it's early morning Pacific Standard Time happening in the heavens. And as you know, the new moon is always a new beginning. It's kind of the sun and moon is in conjunction, so they're in the same degree. And then from that quality, where that is happening, we're starting into a new maturation, a new circle where the moon goes throughout the month, through the whole zodiac. So following the moon doing that, and moon astrology in general, is really kind of a good way to have a perspective of self-inquiry, of mindfulness, of knowing what's going on. And we all are basically all directed from the inner world of emotions, from what's under the surface of our top of our wave. So it's good to become accustomed to watch out what's happening and to have that witness perspective and to have this little moment of waiting before we react to something. So moon astrology can really help you, and when you follow it consciously, it helps you with that integration of certain themes which you will be exposed to in an emotional way. So yeah, it's just a wonderful way to make us more aware of who we are and develop consciously a higher perspective onto ourselves and who we are in the world. And then also the moon going through our personal chart will hit those other planets there. So even if these are very fast moving transits, they still have quite an intense impact in the moment when they're happening. For me, the whole idea using astrology is to really help ourselves to thrive and to fully blossom into the highest potential we can hold. In the same way I look at transits. So you want to use transits as those updates in time and space where we can integrate something in a deeper way, where we can start a dialogue, ask smart questions in a certain direction. So with the new moon in Taurus, it's all about a very practical integration. And Taurus is the sign which is associated with how we are in our body, how we honor the temple of our soul, how we feel comfortable. And if we are out of energy physically, if we are in pain. That's generally not a way where we feel comfortable in this body. So health is always a specific interest of mine. And I want to take that perspective today and deepen it a little bit. Because also we have a Uranus-Mercury conjunction happening like an hour away from this new moon. And Mercury and Uranus, they go very well together. Uranus, one way to look at Uranus is the higher mind. Mercury is sometimes looked at as the lower mind in comparison with Uranus. So it's really an added influence into this new moon, which will carry over with Mercury retrograde till the end of the first week of May. So this is really calling us into innovation, starting to look at our health, our body in a new way, and integrate new practical steps, how we go about to truly feel comfortable. So as you know, Taurus is an earth sign. Taurus is ruled by Venus, which is very sensual, the goddess of love, harmony, and beauty. So it's really about being comfortable in this body of ours. And I personally are just in the process of streamlining my own health situation, because I have a lot of challenges, which most people say, oh, it's aging, because I'm turning 60 next month. But I think there are really ways to monitor your diet and do things in the right way. And I think I have been pretty health conscious, but right now I'm really doing a lot of research and taking it much deeper. So I want to give you a little inspiration here. If you want to perfect your health, your well-being, how you can go about it. I'm not saying this is the only way or the right way, but I'm saying this is definitely something worth to check out. So in my research, I know that there's three main elements, and I have talked about them before. One is the right nutrition we bring into our body. One is the ability to detox what toxicity we have been building up. And if you eat any processed food, if you breathe air, if you drink water, you having toxins and poisons in your system. So everybody, doesn't matter how healthy we are and how organic we eat, we all have this build up with heavy metals and toxins and plasticizer and roundabout, I think it's called this GMO pesticide spray. So the first one was nutrition, the second is detoxification, and the third pillar is exercising. So I'm not really good on the exercising level, so I'm still working on that one. So today I want to talk a little bit about how to get our energy moving, so we even have enough energy to do research and grow and use our higher mind and the lower mind to really make sense out of all this information we find on the internet, which is not an easy thing. So I believe these days we have to be really smart and educated to stay healthy. So even if we don't have major health threats like cancer or things like that, autoimmune problems, I think we all have trouble to be in good energy flow, to use our mind in a brilliant way, and not having these gaps and losing the thread and being tired after 2-3 hours in the morning, or even waking up tired in the morning. So I have been trying out for a week now what they call the Bulletproof Coffee. And I'm a person, I can usually not drink coffee because it makes me all sweaty and jittery, and I just can't handle it. And in the material from this bulletproof guy, Dave Asprey, he talks about how the way most coffee is processed nowadays, it's full of toxins and mold. And I know I'm very allergic to mold. So I've been trying out his coffee, and suddenly I can have coffee. So there's something to be said for his teachings there. But as I said, we always have to try those things out individually and see what works for our body, because we do have very different needs and ways to process and metabolize things. So the idea with Bulletproof Coffee is that instead of half and half or cream, you use grass-fed butter, and he adds the brain oil on top of that, which is specifically designed to enter the brain barrier. So the idea is that you really get all the polyphenols, which are part of the antioxidants process in the body. So these are good, so you want to have them. And coffee has a lot of them actually. But if you drink coffee with cream, you're not going to get the benefit, because then your body can't process it. If you drink it with the butter, the grass-fed butter, then you really get the full benefit. So I've been playing around with that for a week, and I must say I really, really like the coffee. It really gives me a boost, and my brain feels more lubricated, and I actually do like the taste with the butter. So yeah, I got turned on with an interview done by Dr. Nicola with the Dave Asprey guy, and that might be a good way to get started. I get newsletters from Dr. McCullough every day. I love the guy. I think he's really the expert, because he's interviewing all these high-end researchers and doctors. So if you are into health, this is your month. This is your month to deal with things, to figure things out, to make your Uranus, make that new start, study, understand things. So I'm with you on this journey. So whatever you find out, please leave me a comment down there, and if you try out the Bulletproof Coffee, let me know how you are with it. I always love to hear comments, and of course I love it also if you like my videos. That helps with making it available for other people. So yeah, I want this to be a dialogue, so I'm not just talking into empty space. Okay, so take care for your body, so that your soul can reside in a healthy, comfortable beingness. And then we can grow and ask other questions. So, but as a soul in this body, we need to honor the temple, and we need to do things that makes that process smooth. Okay, gemstones. Gemstones we want to look at for grounding, for really being in the physical body. One beautiful stone for that is the carnelian. So the carnelian is this reddish brown, halfway translucent stone. So in general, you can say all stones which are not really translucent. They're kind of more grounding stones with the color they carry. So this stone is kind of in between. It's still a little bit translucent, but you can't really look through it. It's not a reflective stone. So you could say that because of that, carnelian is kind of in between the world of light and the world of the physical, the three-dimensional reality. So it's a stone which helps us to really ground ourselves in a healthy body. It has that really healthy, balanced vibrancy. So carnelian is not necessarily a great jewelry stone. So it's a cheap stone, so you can just have a bigger piece and wear it in your pocket, so you have the energy with you. You can meditate with it. Remember, the third eye is always a good place for any stone if you want to gain deeper insight and see how that frequency impacts you. Or you can go through the chakras, which are coordinated with the colors of the rainbow. Then the carnelian would kind of be the second and third chakra. So definitely a grounding stone, helping us to really be in our body and enjoy the body in an essential, grounded way. So red and black stones would be helping with that process. So the black stones are connected with the first chakra and they're really very grounding. So like the black tourmaline. Black tourmaline is also a stone which kind of disperses and helps to release negative energies. So it's a good stone to just have in front of your computer and again to meditate with. Red stones are associated with the first chakra, but more in an energizing way. So if you have energy problems, red stones and our friends the carnelian are good gemstones to help you to break through blockages you have. And we all have blockages. I mean, that's just part of our journey. But a smart thing is to be aware of those and then find good ways to support yourself. So I can't wait to hear back from you about your experience this month with the new moon in Taurus. And I hope you gain new insight. Uranus, Mercury in Aries. So breakthrough is really a potential of this new moon. So I hope you enjoyed my little discussion here. And I do this weekly forecast on Saturday, where I just look into the upcoming week and what it holds and give you suggestions and steps how to deal with the coming week and be prepared for the energies to integrate and again, ask the right questions. If you're able to ask the right questions, then you're open to receive answers. So see you on Saturday, hopefully. And as we say on Maui, aloha and namaste. And I see you around.